What's up, guys and gals? My name's Joy. My heater's on, so if you hear the loud fan, that's the heater. But I just saw this video on YouTube, a reaction. I think it's in my playlist, my new playlist called The Best or whatever. And it's basically of this baby mama who's trying to expose one of her baby daddies. She's got 4 baby daddies, dude. I'm thinking, oh my god. Yeah, trash, garbage. Anyways, garbage human being, 4 baby daddies, 4 kids by probably 4 different men. I don't really like women that do that. I consider them garbage. They're trash. They are literally garbage. If you're doing that as a woman and you got 4 kids by 4 different dudes, you are the epitome of trash in society. That means, like, in all of America, you're worse than like an Arby's rapper. Anyways, so one of the baby daddies out of her 4 kids would bring McDonald's. He brings like a cheeseburger, like off the dollar menu, and he bring a soda for his one son. He's got one son to this woman, and this is a black. They aren't a couple or anything, but it's a black woman and a black man, that are having this argument or whatever, and she's on food stamps, so she doesn't get them until like the 7th, but then says in the same video that she doesn't get them until the 11th, so she doesn't even know what day she gets her food stamps. Her other 3 kids are always going hungry, and she has like no food because she doesn't have her food stamps, and so she's getting mad at the baby. He arrives with McDonald's, and when he arrives at McDonald's to bring his son some cheeseburgers or whatever, what have you, like some, like a quarter pounder or like dollar menu burger. I think it's dollar menu burger, like a double cheeseburger. She basically throws the drink on the sidewalk and throws the food on the sidewalk and says to the man, the one baby daddy who only has one son with this woman, why won't you bring food for all my other kids? I've got 3 other kids. And he tells her, those aren't my children. I'm not responsible for those kids. That's true. He isn't. The father of that child who was there with McDonald's and bringing his son McDonald's, that's his responsibility. That father's responsibility is that one son that he had that he brings McDonald's for. So that means the father who brings McDonald's for his one son, she's mad because the other 3 kids aren't eating food because she doesn't have food in her house, but yet she gets, food stamps every month. So she isn't even using the EBT for food. Anywho, or wisely, she doesn't know how to space it out properly because she's an idiot. So she gets mad at the baby daddy who's a good baby daddy. Out of all her baby daddies, out of all 4 of them, she has one baby daddy who actually was bringing food for his son to have McDonald's. The other 3 kids, however, they're baby daddies or dudes that she slept with who aren't the guy who brings McDonald's. They can't be bothered to bring any food by at all. So the one good baby daddy out of the 4 baby daddies that this woman has, the one good one that shows up with McDonald's is bringing only enough food for his son so he can spend time with his son. He doesn't have to give money or resources to the other kids. He's making an effort to bring McDonald's to his son so that they can bond and have a father and son relationship. But then she threw all the food on the ground, and people that watch that video think CPS should get involved. And in my opinion, they should also. I mean, if I showed you the video, you would want to beat that woman, like just smack her up the head. And I had this conversation last night. I'll probably go into more detail about this, but I have a son. I know he's my son. As of this moment, I have confirmation that he's my kid. And I'm trying to do a co-parent thing to where I don't have to battle her legally, but I'm starting to consider a legal battle. But I would prefer not to do that to her. I'd prefer that her and I can work something out to where I can see my son. However, if she refuses, I might go legal, and I'm just gonna take my kid from her. because I have been asking to see my son, and if I can't get this woman to get off her ass and do something, I'm going to go to the courts, get a DNA test, and then I'll have them file the warrant to make her let me see my kid. And then they're going to get mad about it, but, you know, whatever. I shouldn't have to do that, but that's where I'm at. I might have to fight for my son, and I might not even... I don't want to fight for years for a kid, though. So... If you excuse me, I'm yawning. And people are going to be like, well, it's your son, you know, you should fight for him. You should get him off, you know, get him away from that woman if she won't let you see him. Yeah, I should. But, you know, we weren't married and I live in Georgia, so there's some things. She also threw me in jail, which is kind of holding me back from going to, like, CPS. Well, not CPS, but it's holding me back from going to, like, the courts. I have looked at an attorney. I'm going to talk to an attorney and see what I can do. Eventually. Maybe. I can't promise that I'm going to do that or not. I don't know yet. I'm hoping she makes an effort to let me see my son, but so far she doesn't seem to be willing to do that. So, but I don't want my son living there anymore, so I could fight her and have my son live here with me, or I could just ignore all of that and let her in her own time when she's mature enough to see if I can see my son. If she isn't going to let me see my son, no, then she's just being a bitch to be a bitch, and I'll just let her be a bitch. So I guess I don't get to see my kid, because, you know, I'd have to pay an attorney and do all this shit. Like, I watch these baby mama videos, and I can't be more disgusted with how America has really just done men for decades, and then expects you to go off to war and fight. You know what? I think as a peaceful protest of sorts, because, you know, that is in your constitutional rights, America. You know, we always see protests. We saw protests during the Bush, now Gore election. And I'm starting to think men in construction should do the same thing. A protest, just a walkout from a bunch of men. Don't even do the whole feminist, like, protest. Like, no, like, I mean, like, a walkout. Like, men quit society. So every dude at a company that works a 9 to 5 should just quit on the spot. Like, you imagine if all of America and all 50 states, the working force of men, just up and quit across the board, like in every position that was important, like construction. That means road work and bridges are, nobody wants to work. But people could be like, well, they'll just hire more if everybody quits. Yeah, but if they all quit on the same day, I mean, companies are going to be like, well, we could hire more people, we just have to interview them. Yeah, but I don't think any company has ever lost its entire workforce. And I'm talking more than one company. Like, I'm talking all of construction, all the corporate companies, just every dude in every position just ups and quits. And people are going to be like, well, that isn't normal. No, because if every guy did it, you'd see like a giant mass apocalypse of people swarming like a fucking football game. Like, imagine all the fans at a football game, but they don't go to watch a football game, they basically just go home. Like, a bunch of dudes standing on the street, all quitting. Now, we've seen this before. We've seen, like, pensions and the coal mining companies all protest, and, you know, they eventually hire new people when that's going on. But I'm saying if everybody quit and didn't do like a protest, they just quit. And instead of doing a protest, they all quit on the same exact day. Like one day, Father's Day. Ooh, Father's Day would be a good one. If Father's Day, all the dudes on the planet in all 50 states of America just up and quit every job ever. Do you know how many women would have to start working those jobs that they don't want to work? Just to like... Because they could only hire women. So if a bunch of dudes refuse to reapply, and then a bunch of dudes quit in every field, women would have to pick up the slack. Now, many of you are going to be like, dude, that sounds fucked up. But it does sound fucked up, because if that happened, society would start treating men better. They'd have to give incentives for men to actually go to work. Like, get your 401k, get your fucking... No, that's not an incentive, because 401k, even Target has that shit. No, an incentive would be like, we'll give you a job pay, like when we hire you, like hire pay or something to incentivize you to want to apply for the job. We'll give you $1,500 on the spot to, work for us. No, but they might have to do something like that to incentivize a bunch of dudes. Because remember, if all the construction guys quit on the same day, all the corporate dudes quit, even the high-ranking ones, they all quit. Everybody quits, right? All the dudes in every field ever, in all 50 states of America, just quits. And there's one protest that they could do. They could do something like BLM or something, but they could do like a giant sign that says, change the courts for men and fathers. Like fathers' rights in the states. And if all 50 states went on this like giant crusade of just a bunch of dudes, even the military, a bunch of dudes in the military all quit. Every guy, every branch just quits the military. Why? Because if they all did that shit, all the women on the planet that are on TikTok would have to get off their asses and go serve our country. They'd have to basically reinstill the draft again just to get people to go to war. And I know a bunch of military dudes are going to be like, well, I don't have to do this. I have a wife and kid. Yeah, it's true, you don't. But if you think about it, I know military dudes who tell me horror stories. And I know a military woman. I don't know if I still talk to her, but she was a military woman. She was a mechanic. But the wars for the United States are pretty much pointless. They're just to help the wealthy people make more money. So when you think of why I said the companies, you think the same thing for the military. You just have the military-industrial complex, all their fucking dudes just quit because they're getting blown to shit. Their wives are always cheating on them or divorcing them when they're deployed, so. Men have just had enough. Western men should just be like, I've had enough. And they should just, instead of going to like Asia and shit, which I mean you can do, but when you all quit, if you all were to quit like on the same day at the same time in every category, like categorical field ever, then America would fall. Like they would have to hire a bunch of women and incentivize women, which they wouldn't have a problem because AOC and many of the other politicians already know that women would easily do those jobs. But most women don't like working already. Most of them hate it. I've seen women that have like 6 kids that hate working. I know women that don't have 6 kids and they hate working. So women just bitch to bitch. But I mean, think about it. I know a woman on Facebook right now who's in construction. She loves her job, right? Because she gets to listen to music and shit. But she does work like in a construction vehicle. Like she's in a vehicle working construction. Because men, they couldn't find a guy to do it, I guess. They didn't want to hire the dude to do it or something. I don't know. But even men are starting to leave fields like construction, man. Like, honestly, they aren't willing to do what's needed anymore. Because think about it. I mean, these women live on the state. Most of these single dads are going to live on the state. They're like, I'm just going to get EBT and fucking do that shit or whatever. And it sucks to say that. Nobody wants them doing that, but that's where we're at. As for me, I had a woman throw me in jail. Her family, this woman I was going to marry, and I haven't really told anybody this story because I'm dealing with it in my own manner, I guess, my own way, my own manner. But if you go back on my videos and you go to the Discovery video, like previously on Discovery Channel, where that's Jen, right? That's the woman that I was going to marry. She cheated on me. Family threw me in jail, and while I was in jail, they threw out all my stuff. I'm back in the ghetto right now with David, my roommate, who's still my roommate and still a friend. Sort of, kinda. I don't really know where I stand with him because he didn't want me coming back here when I left jail. Luckily, I'm here now and I'm doing good. I'm staying out of trouble. But she almost ruined my life. Jen almost ruined my life. She did throw me in jail. She filed a restraining order on me. This is the mother of my kid, by the way. And it sucks because, you know, I love this woman and I was going to marry her. And I don't know where we went wrong. Because, you know, before I went to jail, and I don't know, I wouldn't say where we went wrong. I don't know where she went wrong. Well, I know where she went wrong, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how things got so fucked up with me and Jen when we looked so happy in a video like previously on the Discovery Channel, or you know, the Long Island Iced Tea video and stuff, or at the gun range, and you know, things like that. We were a really good couple. Like, we didn't have any problems. But after my son was born, she just started acting different, started acting like a woman I didn't really like, and I knew she was cheating on me for a while, because, you know, when you bang the pussy, ladies, if it's really loose, you know she's sleeping around on you. It explains pretty much the last time I slept with her, because she was pretty loose. So anyways, these women are dumb. They just don't seem to understand, like, what they're doing is stupid. So she cheated on me before I went to jail. I found out, I got angry, and then they took me away to jail. I'm out of jail now. I was in jail for 7 months. She didn't visit me once. She didn't even bring my son to see me. That really hurt, obviously. I'm out of jail now. I have probation. So I had to take a plea deal to get out of jail, basically, early. But I have probation. I have 40 hours I'm going to be doing in January. At the start of January, I'm going to get it done. Just get it all done. And then I have a 24-week class of, like, anger management. It's not anger management, but it's like a family violence class. I have to take it. It's basically 24 hours, or no, 24 weeks, an hour per week. So an hour per week. So 1 day per week for 24 weeks, 1 hour class. And that's that. Once I'm finished with that, I'm done, and then I can probo's over. I'm a freed American again. If I don't finish it, I go back to jail, and I most likely would have to do my time for the crime. So that's on the table also. That would be about a year. I'd be back in jail if I don't finish probo. I go back to jail for about a year. So Jen did all this to me, and her family, and we aren't really talking right now, me and Jen. She's still the mother of my child. She hasn't let me see him, like, see my son since I left jail. I haven't been able to see him. I could fight for custody rights and fight for my son, but like I said, I don't really like fighting Jen anymore, so hopefully she'll let me see my son. But it isn't looking that way, so maybe I should go file for an attorney or something. I'm debating that. Remember, I have all my money right now is going to probo, so I can't really up and just go get a lawyer. Because I have to pay the probation officer every fucking month. It's stupid. So the quicker I get that done, the less money I'm going to be paying out of pocket, which I'm so ready to get it done right now. Let's see what else. Yeah, back onto the conversation of this video where I saw this baby mother get angry at one of her baby daddies, for bringing her, for the one baby daddy out of many, bringing his son McDonald's. She got mad because her other kids were gonna have to sit there and watch the one child eat McDonald's while they were starving. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, that isn't his responsibility. He only had one kid with you, bitch. Maybe keep your legs closed next time and quit being a whore. You know, like, these women are dumb. My son isn't old enough to have McDonald's with his dad and articulate, you know, that his dad's bringing him McDonald's, because he's only like, I think, 1, almost 2 now. But I haven't seen him since I left jail. So, it sucks. It's not fun, but that's the update. I figured I'd give you an update. I'm going to upload this to YouTube so you all can watch this update. And most of you can, you know, leave a comment. Don't worry, I'm not sad or anything about Probo. It sucks. But if I go back to jail and I disappear for like a year, then that's because I didn't finish the probation, and I can save money when I'm in jail. So, and in my opinion, they feed me in jail. So if I go back to jail, I got luxury living, I save money, I get the fuck out. I have like 10 grand, 12 grand when I leave jail this time, so I'm not really worried about it. So if I were to go back to jail for a year, my money's going to be stacking up while I'm in there. Anywho, I just figured I'd let you guys know that jail isn't a bad option, because if I go back to jail, I don't have to pay that Probo shit. So, because I'm not going to be paying them when I go back to jail. So I'm weighing my options. Like, I could do Probo, get the 40 weeks done, or I go back to jail for a year. I go back to jail for a year, I wear the silver handcuffs, wear the green suit again, the jumpsuit or whatever. I go back to jail, wait my day in court, finish my year, I'm done, I'm out. No more Probo when I'm out either, because the judge is going to have to rule that I already served my time for the crime. I did the original charge, basically. And that'll be that. I'll just be in jail for a year, and then I leave, and then they'll try to give me Probo or an early release again, and I won't sign that shit, because fuck it. So, considering going back to jail, finishing that, or leaving, like, the country. No, I can't leave the country. But I'm going to try to finish the probation and just get it over with. Not really playing any video games anyways right now, so it's something to do to keep me busy. Let's see. Once that's all said and done, who knows where I go from here, guys. I mean, I could stay in the state of Georgia. I was going to go to Nebraska, but that looks like it might be off the table also. I don't think I'm going to go to Nebraska. I'm going to try to get Probo done in Georgia and fix all the damage that's been done, by friends and family, people I considered my family, because, I mean, look at what they did to me. I mean, honestly, like, they have no respect for me, no care, and that hurts, because, I have a kid with their daughter, so, and she has no respect for me right now either. She's cheated on me and shit, so it's been tough, but don't worry, I still have my crown. I didn't lose it. Don't worry, it's still up there. It isn't going away. It isn't going away yet anyways. Don't worry, it isn't going away. I'm still smiling, having a good time, chilling. Things are good at David's right now. They weren't at first, but they're okay now. We're doing okay. I'm gonna go to McDonald's tonight, most likely to get me a fucking number 2, no pickles, as per usual. Large fry, a frappe mocha, whatever. Because, I like McDonald's. I'm going to eat my McDonald's. But speaking of McDonald's, I mean, if that woman doesn't want me being in my kid's life, then that's her loss, that's this child's loss too. You're effectively hurting the kid when you do that. And many MGTOW dudes in the comments are going to start agreeing with this. They know that a fatherless home is a bad situation for a kid. And I didn't want that for my son. I wanted me and his mom to stay together through thick and thin. I wanted us to tie the knot, get married, and maybe have more children with her. But she chose to cheat on me with some other dude, and now my son is suffering for it. And I don't really respect her right now for what she's done. I have no sympathy or empathy towards that woman. I'm very angry at her, but I'm trying to keep it on a cordial basis to where I can maybe still see my son, to where I don't have to agree with her. I just want to see my kid. I don't even have to fuck her anymore, because she's just And she's gonna get mad at that, but, you know, can't have your cake and eat it too. So, yeah. Anywho, that's the update video, though. I'll see if I can find the video where the dad's taking McDonald's to his son, the black guy or whatever, the ebony guy, I guess you could say, black guy, ebony guy. I just say black guy. I mean, honestly. And I'll show you how stupid this woman is, and this, you know, watching that video really made me just want to be like, you know, if I punched that woman in the face, I bet you she'd file a restraining order on me too. Because, you know, that's just how women are, right? Because the moment you do that shit, they'll be like, oh, he's an abuser. Nah, he's an abuser, bitch. You fucking deserve a punch in the face when you're telling one of your many baby daddies that he can't even feed his kid and have a lunch, like, date with his son. Like, honestly. You're such a loser, bitch. Anywho, it's a good thing you know, Joy isn't a loser. He's still the coolest guy ever. And, you know, if I could see my son right now, I'd bring him McDonald's, but he can't really eat McDonald's, so when he's older, I'd bring him McDonald's. But, you know, if I could see him now, I'd still do stuff with you know, I give him a hug and see my son. But I feel like she's withholding my son from me so that she can try to get full custody. I hope she doesn't do that. I hope she lets me have some custody rights and lets me see my kid. But I don't know, maybe that won't happen. Maybe no custody battle will happen. It doesn't look like a custody battle is going to happen. Maybe it won't. Because maybe she doesn't want to fight me either. Maybe we're just both waiting to see what we can agree on as mature adults. And, you know, had she talked to me before I went to jail and been a mature adult and didn't go behind my back and cheat on me and do all that bullshit, I could have forgiven her for that, but she didn't. So I guess I'm the mature one and she isn't. Well, that's good news. I'm glad we have something out of the way there. So I'm going to end this video here. That's a little update about what's been going on with me. I haven't really told anybody about that. So, yeah, it's been a rough 2022 and 2023 for Joy. It'll get better, though. Like I said, I did take a joyride, though. I did go to jail for 7 months, so don't worry. You guys might see some videos or something of that if I go back, because I might have them record a video when I go in, if I go back to jail. But it isn't all negative. I go back to jail again, I'll be okay. But why would you want to go back to jail? Because I can save like 20 grand if I go back to jail.